Hey everybody, Peter Crouch for Collision Services Network, collisionservicenetwork.com. All right, the only place you need to be when you need a reliable body shop or a reliable injury attorney or a reliable independent broker. All right, go to collisionservicenetwork.com, find that and a lot more. All right, we're giving you information and knowledge you need and can use and advice you can trust. And along those lines, what we want to talk about here today is, what I got right in front of me here, Reg 64. Okay? For most of you, I have no idea what Reg 64 is, and that's okay, because before I started in the insurance industry, I didn't know what it was either. And you know what? I didn't care. Right? I paid for my policy, I paid for my premium every month or every year. I had coverage on the car. I was good to go. Right? It was all cool. Right? That's what I was told I had to do. I had to get insurance, pay for my premiums, make sure I had good coverage. And that's great. Problem is insurance is a little quirky, okay? Because it's one of the very few things that we pay for. We never really truly understand what it is we're getting for our money, right? Because the only time we realize the service, all right, is when we have the need. Right? And for most of us, it's what? We're talking about auto policies, we're talking about having an accident, right? You have a car accident, and now it's, oh boy, I gotta get my car fixed, I gotta call the insurance company, all right? And most of us, thankfully, don't have a lot of accidents, right? We don't wanna have a lot of accidents. So we're not experts at this, right? And it can be very complicated, the process. It can be somewhat intimidating. And unfortunately today, there's a lot of misinformation out there that's put out by the insurance industry, all right? And until collisionservicesnetwork.com came along, virtually all of our information as consumers was coming from where? The insurance company, right? And a little bit from the body shop guys, which you were probably better off getting from the insurance company, all right? But thanks to collisionservicenetwork.com, right, we now have an unbiased source that we can all access, all right, for unfiltered information. That's unbiased because it's just going to be facts, factual based. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about Reg 64, because for us, you and me, consumers, this is the Bible in New York. This is the controlling entity. This is what secures our rights and expectations under our insurance policy. Why is this important? Because we all pay a lot of money. Pay a lot of money. Add it up, folks. You've been paying for an insurance policy on your car for 10 years. Do the math. That's a lot of money. Right? For most of us, we're never going to realize a return on that money because we don't have accidents. And that's good. You don't want to have a car accident. Right? But what happens when you do? Right? If you have a car accident tomorrow, would you know where you're getting your car fixed? Do you know who's going to fix your car? Do you know why they should be fixing your car if you choose them? Do they have the expertise? Do they have the technicians that are trained? Do they have the right repair theories in mind? Are they still thinking about fixing your car like they did in the 70s? If they are, you should run very quickly from them. All right. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of guys out there like that. collisionservicenetwork.com. We have the most professional, up-to-date, forward-thinking body shops on our network. Right. These guys are the best of the best. Right. Most of them are family-owned businesses. They've been around for many, many decades. All right. They're up with the times. Their technicians are highly trained. All right. Their office staff, a lot of them are ex-insurance people. All right, so you're going to get the what we like to consider a holistic approach, all right, to your body shop experience. All right, so you go to collisionservicenetwork.com, find a reliable professional shop that's going to work for you, represent your interests, not the insurance industry. All right, why is that important? Well, because today, insurance companies, they like to forget about Reg 64. All right, but here at collisionservicenetwork.com, we're making sure that they remember it. All right, because Reg 64 is the Bible. It's the controlling entity. It's, as I said earlier, it's what secures our rights and expectations with the New York State insurance law, and also, more importantly, all of our auto policy. All right? So when you get an accident, not only do you need to know who's going to fix your car, right? And you know who that is, one of our reliable shops, right? You definitely never ever want to rely on an insurance-sponsored or what's called a direct repair program shop. All right? Insurance companies are going to want you to go there because they get to control costs, control the claim, right? Control the time, and control the rental expense. All good for them, not necessarily good for you. Insurance companies are real good at saving money. We don't need to help them. All right, so if you got to call in an insurance claim, what we like to say here at collisionservicenetwork.com, you should be calling us before you speak to them. But we understand in the real world, you can't always do that. So remember this, that if you have to call the insurance company to report a claim, folks, please, okay, please, never ever let them tell you where to get your car fixed. Simply tell them, I'm going to go to collisionservicenetwork.com. I'm going to find an amazing shop that's going to fix my car for me. All right? And then those guys will help you with the rest of the way. All right? They'll walk the walk with you from beginning to end, and they'll make sure that the entire experience is a positive one and that everything happens for the right reasons. All right, but Reg 64, of which I have a personal copy of all the time, all right, sets out all the expectations, all right, or what we like to say, the rules of the game for the insurance industry and the body shop industry, all right, but make no doubt about it, it's there to protect the consumer, all right, and by extension, the auto body industry. All right, did you know that if you're going to file a claim, all right, let's say you get hit in the rear, right, it's not your fault, right, you got a stop sign, you stop by, you're moving traffic, whether the guy slams in, he's on his phone, you file a claim through the other party, right, it's called a third party claim, right, you're putting a claim in for liability. Do you know if the person that hit you doesn't cooperate within 7 days, if the insurance company can't get a hold of them, regardless of the fact that you're a police report, that puts that guy at the scene? Do you know that legally and contractually, that guy's insurance company does not have to pay you? That's right. Now, most insurance companies won't do that because they'll have a police report that'll make sure that it puts their guy at the scene, which is another reason why here at collisionservicenetwork.com, what are we always saying? Make sure you get the police there. Even if you have to wait, folks, can't emphasize it enough. You're going to make sure that you safeguard your rights, all right? And also you're going to make sure that you preserve, all right, the evidence, okay? And evidence is all inclusive. It's all parties involved. It's what happened. It's witness statements. It's the scene. It's the weather. You're preserving all that by having a police officer, all right, appear at the scene. But unfortunately, you got stuck with the guy that convinced you not to call the police, all right? The insurance company then can turn around after 7 days and tell you that they are denying coverage, all right, to their insured for failure to comply, failure to cooperate. Simple fact. Maybe it's not fair, but it's true. Right? It can happen. So remember, when somebody tells you, hey, you just file a claim to the other guy, you can, but by the letter of the policy, if that guy's insurance company, if that guy doesn't want to pick up the phone, doesn't want to call the claim in, doesn't want to cooperate with the insurance company, they can do a thing which is called disclaim coverage. All right, you never want to hear that. When they tell you we're disclaiming coverage, that's a nice way of saying we're not paying. All right? And then they'll tell you you can take out a lawsuit, small claims court, and sue him, and they'll send letters, certified mail to him or her, telling her, hey, you didn't fulfill your obligations under the policy, so guess what? This guy's coming after you, right? But you don't want to get involved in all that. It's messy, and most likely if the guy's not cooperating, he's probably not a nice person, or she's not a nice person anyway. So they're probably not going to want to give you any money. All right, so instead you want to contact collisionservicenetwork.com. We're going to have the professional staff that's going to be able to advise you on how to proceed on that, whether it be filing through your insurance company or maybe another way to convince the third-party carrier to extend coverage. All right, because we have the professionals that have the answers. All right, but Reg 64, as I said, is a very important document. All right, unfortunately today, many shops out there just simply don't have the knowledge base for Reg 64. They're not as aware anymore. All right, they should be, but they're not. Now, our body shops, our network partner shops, they're very well versed in Reg 64. Now, why is that important again? That's important because if an issue comes up in negotiations, in repair of the vehicle, maybe even in a rental issue, all right, anything pertaining to the claim, our body shops and their professional staff are well educated in Reg 64, which means they're going to know how to utilize this to protect you and to preserve your interests and your rights. That's very important, folks. Again, I know a lot of you guys are probably out there, if you're listening to this, you're like, wow, I didn't think this was that big of a deal. I got in an accident, I just called my insurance company. That's what you do. But that's when the simplicity goes out the window and it gets a lot more complex. All right? Trust me. I was an insurance professional for almost 30 years. I sat through many insurance seminars, and I can tell you, insurance guys, they're not necessarily looking out for us. All right, they're a business like any other business, folks. What I used to say on my radio show, insurance companies do one thing really well. They look for ways to cut costs when, where, and often. It starts the minute you and I pick up the phone to file a claim. All right, but don't be a victim of that. Don't be a victim of ignorance. Instead, call CollisionServiceNetwork.com, all right, to get the professional help and guidance you need when it comes to filing an insurance claim, speaking to your insurance company, and making sure, this is very important, folks, making sure you choose a body shop, an independent shop, right, that's fixing cars for their customers and not for the insurance companies. All right, you call a claimant today, insurance companies are going to use all kinds of techniques and tactics, even from intimidation to coercion to carrot and a stick. You know, hey, you know, do this and it'll be good for you. It's not good for you, it's good for them. All right. Before I go here, I want to touch on one important issue too, the photo inspections. Folks, can't stress enough, stop sending in photos of your damaged car. This is doing nothing for you and everything for the insurance company. All right, not to mention you're participating in the elimination of very good jobs. All right, you are not a licensed adjuster. You have no idea about what you're looking at in the car. Yes, the obvious damages are what they are, right? A cracked light, cracked bumper, a dent in a panel. Terrific. There are many other facets to damage on a vehicle as a result of collision. There's indirect damage, there's direct damage, there's frame damage, there's damage that can extend through inertia, through other parts of the car today. You're not trained to visualize these kind of damages. You're not trained to document those kind of damages. So when the insurance company asks you to take pictures, say no, all right? Just like Nancy Reagan used to do in the 80s with the drugs, just say no. We're asking everybody to just say no, all right? It's real simple. Folks, remember this, insurance companies are business. I just said this earlier, all right? They're looking for ways to cut costs. They don't need your help. You pay for this stuff in your premium dollars, all right? This is an expectation that you should have of the insurance company, all right? So please, if you file an insurance claim, they're going to tell you to send photos. Just simply tell them, I'm not going to do it. I'd be more comfortable having one of your guys come down to a Collision Service Network shop and deal directly with them. All right? They don't need your help. All right? And most of these estimates, in fact, this is an industry standard now. I didn't make this up. 98% of the estimates that are generated through this process result in large supplements. What does that mean for you? More time out of your car. All right? More rental expense. Okay? Because it's not rental coverage. It's rental reimbursement, which means it's not covering you for the total rental. So guess what? Every time they got to come out for a supplement, that's more time you're in that rental. That's more money you're going to spend. All right? No more photo inspections. Bad for you, good for them, does nothing for you. All right? Just say no. Hey folks, I hope you got a little something out of this. All right? As always, you know we like to say, Collision Service Network, we are looking out for the folks. All right? Giving you information, knowledge you need and can use, advice you can trust. Go to CollisionServiceNetwork.com. All right, there's a lot of stuff there, a lot of really cool stuff. Hey, you may even learn something, right? We like to say over here, it's educating and entertaining as well. CollisionServiceNetwork.com.